I am so excited for yet another epic Rebel Radio conversation with my new friend, Elena. Elena, thank you for being on the show today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Cindy, for having me. It's a pleasure.
I love it. And before we went live, I shared with you a little bit of your numerology and gave you a little mini reading. And I'm curious, what was something that really stood out to you about the information I shared with you?
That it was accurate, actually. Wonderful.
I love that. The numbers never lie,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So fun.
it's accurate that that I love freedom and
Mhm.
that I am a free spirit, a free thinker. I love entrepreneurship. I can get frustrated when I don't get things done when I want, as I want them. So
Mhm.
yes, perfect. Yeah.
I love that. So you are coming to us all the way from Italy. Thank you
Mhm.
for coming and finding us in Canada here. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do in the world, and who you're of service to.
I'm a personal coach for high achievers, and I've created intuitive coaching. This is my mission in life. The ultimate goal is to help people evolve into new human beings, which are
Mm,
individuals free to choose how to feel, what to think, and how to behave in sane and healthy way so that we can do better than previous generations and leave a healthy and sane legacy to next generations.
I love that. You cut out a
Mhm.
little bit at the very beginning when you were sharing kind of your title. Can you
Okay.
repeat your title and what it is that you do?
Yes, I'm a personal coach for high achievers.
Okay. So, what is a high achiever?
A high achiever is a very ambitious person who
Mhm.
has uh, very high expectations about himself, and he has a mission in life and he wants to accomplish it. A high achiever is a person who has a great energy that drives his behavior and is a person who is not afraid to question what was taught to him by family, by society, is a person who doesn't want to be average. He wants
Mm,
to stand out. A high achiever is a person who has great dreams.
I love that. Somebody who wants to stand
Mhm.
out. I love that. That's a great expression.
Yeah.
So, do you work mostly with men or do you work with men and women?
Men and women,
Mhm.
and also teams.
Oh, you cut out again. And also, what? Sorry. Men
Okay.
and women
Teenagers.
and teenagers. I love that. Beautiful. Because
Yes.
teenagers
Hmm.
can be ambitious
Yeah.
too, right? Yeah, I love that.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what is it that you desire most in your life? What are you creating in your life?
I am creating well-being in all aspects of my life,
Mm,
and
yeah.
this means balance in all aspects. What I did, my personal journey was to become free from my family's toxic emotional inheritance
Mhm.
and to heal my emotional pain and to be free from societal toxic conditionings, because all these toxic influences were forcing me to sabotage myself and my life. So I wasn't really living my life, I was repeating painful stories of some of my family members.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to be like those family members. I
Yeah.
inherited also beautiful traits and beautiful things from my parents and previous generations, but unfortunately, also the toxic ones. And
Mhm.
these were stronger than I was, and were pushing me toward a path, to walk on a path that wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting how so many of us we gather up those toxic things from our family, from our upbringing, and then we just
Yeah.
carry it through and we just repeat it over and over and over again until we become aware. And then once we're aware, we can shift it. I love that. Beautiful. So tell us a little bit. I ask this question of every guest. What does unity consciousness mean to you?
Unity consciousness, it is the awareness that how we feel, what we think, and how we behave has an impact on other people's lives. I mean, and on the future of our children.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I think, just from hearing your story of how you've unpacked some of those limiting beliefs and those toxic patterns, that's helped you to step into a higher level of unity consciousness so that you don't pass those things on to your children and to future
Yes.
generations. I love that.
Yes,
Beautiful.
absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's so important for all of us to explore that. That's why we have these
Hmm.
conversations. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit, what kind of like rituals or habits do you have in place that helps you stay devoted to unity consciousness in all areas of your life?
Habits. Yeah.
I mean, as a five, maybe you don't have habits because you like to do different things all the time.
I do have habits.
Mhm,
Yeah. What can I share? What I do is actually, I am conscious of myself and of what I do. And now I am conscious of the fact that everything I do is healthy and constructive.
mm-hmm,
So maybe if you can rephrase the question so that I
mm-hmm.
can expand more on this.
Yeah, I'm just curious what types of
Mhm,
things you do in your world,
mhm.
whether that be through meditation or journaling or morning routine, of how you stay devoted to unity consciousness so that you are constantly improving yourself and staying connected to the whole.
What I like to do is working out. I love to sport, for example,
Hmm.
and this helps me to stay more connected to
Hmm.
myself and to everything around me. This is a
Hmm.
very good thing. Yes. And well, I do meditate, but only if I need it. Only if I
Okay.
need it. So it's not
Yeah.
a ritual. It's not a ritual. And I am devoted to my work. I love what I do, and uh, I read and study a lot. I love expand my knowledge. In the
Hmm.
past, I was sure about many things that actually were not accurate. But because I am a person that question everything,
Hmm.
I open the doors to know differently, to understand truth, and
Yeah.
to expand my knowledge. And
Hmm.
there is no ending. Of course, I continue to read and study and to feel, to observe, because I really love to know.
Yeah, I love that. That's very much a five thing to do is to constantly consume information because you're curious and you want to learn and you're
Hmm.
always looking to learn more. And I love that you said there's no ending because you're always going to learn more. I love that. You can just keep exploring.
Yes,
Sounds like a
yes,
grand adventure.
absolutely. Yeah, and I think that we all should question what was taught to us by family and society,
Mhm.
because things are not going very well in the world, and there must be a reason or more reasons. So there must be what we believe in that
Mhm.
actually doesn't work. So what we are really believing? You know,
Yeah.
is that really so good as we think or not?
Yeah.
Because if it is so good, then why things are not going like we hoped or like
Right?
we want? No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's an expression that I use often is question your beliefs daily.
Mm.
Because if you can
Yes.
change your belief, you can change your perception and you see the world differently. And I think if all of us could come to that place where we're constantly questioning, is that
Yeah.
true? Why do I think that's true? What's really going on here? Yeah.
Exactly. And little by little, you can evolve uh, and have no perceptions and perspectives
Mm.
anymore,
Yeah.
because perspective often are filters, you know, and you don't see things as they really are because
Yeah.
you have a perspective. But
Exactly.
the more you evolve by reading, studying, questioning, observing, the less perspective you will have. And in this way, you will come more and more uh, closer to the truth.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because if you're constantly questioning, then you start seeing all the different other perspectives that are out there, and you create more of an open mind, and you can just be open to
Hmm.
anything. Because really, in the grand scheme of things, what is truth? We can't really prove anything to be true because we all have a different perspective.
Well, actually, there are truth. I mean, I'm not talking about an absolute truth. Okay, I
Mhm.
don't know anything about it. What is it? What are we talking about? But there are truth about, for example, things that we believe, about things
Mhm.
that we did or do. There are truths, and
Yeah.
we can discover, or better said, uncover those truths only if we question everything.
Yeah, I
Mm.
love that. So good. So, here at Rebel Radio, we also love to talk about the conversation of wealth because every guest that I've ever
Mm.
had has a different definition for it. So, I would love to know how you define the concept of wealth.
Well, is balance in every aspect of your life,
Mm.
financial aspect, emotional, social, at work, the professional aspect of your life. If you create balance, then this is wealth. Yeah, for me.
I
Mm.
love that. I love that. So, how does one create that balance? Especially because you had brought up earlier in the show how passionate you are about your work, right? And this is a show for
Mhm.
entrepreneurs, people who love to work. So, how do we create that balance so that we do have the wealth in all areas?
The first thing is to eliminate your family's toxic emotional inheritance, because these influences that we all carry inside ourselves do not allow us to create balance. They are a discordant note in our lives, inside ourselves, and so in our lives. So first
Mhm.
thing is to know that we carry inside ourselves our family's toxic emotional inheritance, and become aware of those toxic influences. Because once we become aware, we can take the right steps to eliminate them.
Mhm.
And if you eliminate them, you optimize how you perform in your life, whether it is personal or professional. In this way, you can create balance in all areas, because this toxic inheritance won't interfere anymore
Right.
in your
Yeah.
daily life. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can see what you're saying. I mean, I grew up on a farm where I
Mm.
inherited the belief that in order to get anywhere in life, you had to work really hard because that's what farming
Hmm.
life is all about.
Yeah.
And so I've spent years unraveling that belief because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not serving me to work 17-hour days. It never has served me to do that. And I'm not a farmer, so I don't have to get up and milk the cows
Mhm.
at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I can see that. That's just a funny example, but I can see how that can create balance. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, what is one truth? I mean, as an entrepreneur, what is something that you wish every entrepreneur out there knew?
Oh, that's a difficult question.
I get that every time I ask it. What do you mean just
Oh my.
one?
Um, one truth, mm, that if you have a mission in life, and as entrepreneur you do have it, know that it will it will come to life. You will be able to give it a shape as soon as you choose for it.
Mm, I
Yeah,
love that. Yeah.
this came into my mind because it's what I did. Uh, Before I became an entrepreneur, I had this feeling that was growing inside of me,
Hmm.
and but I had to choose for my destiny.
Yeah.
You know, I could have chosen for something else, to stay where I was working as an employee, but I chose to be an entrepreneur. I chose for my mission. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because the importance of
Mm.
choice is crucial, really, especially in my work. I speak to the law of divine timing, and we must think about it, have the intention, the mission, whatever it is we want.
Mm,
We've
mhm.
also got to feel and imagine it to be true and visualize it and accept that we could have it, and then we need to decide. And I think the deciding piece is the
Yeah.
most important piece, because if we don't decide, the universe doesn't just hand it to us on a silver platter and go, here you go, did you know that this was your mission?
Yeah.
That's not quite how it works, right? So I love that you bring up that
Yeah.
word choice. I think that's so
Yeah.
important. Thank you for bringing that
Yeah.
up. So good.
And I would like to add that in order to be free to choose, you have to be first awake and aware of the obstacles that can derail you, that can
Mhm.
make you choose for something else.
Yeah.
Because we don't really have a choice. We don't really have a choice.
Mhm.
And we can evolve into human beings who can become free to choose. But until that moment, if we carry inside our family's toxic emotional inheritance and other toxic influences, it will be those influences that choose for us.
Absolutely, because we're
Yeah,
trained to want what our parents or caregivers wanted us to
yeah,
have, right? And I was
of
raised to
course.
always go to school, get a good job, work for 40
Mhm.
years, and then retire and wait to die. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
not what I
Yeah.
signed up for when I came into this life. But that's what I was taught as a young kid, right? And so
Yeah.
we've got to unravel those things so we can actually get to the truth of what we want as human beings. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, one more question. I want to thank you for being on
Mhm.
the show today. And as always, we end Rebel Radio with one last question. What do you dream of for the world?
For the world. Yeah. Mm, I dream for the world that we can we can really create harmony, you know?
Hmm.
Yes. This that we can live, coexist in harmony with each other without fighting against each other, without any influence that divides us
Hmm.
at a higher level, where we
Beautiful.
can collaborate, work together, and grow together. This would be fantastic.
Absolutely. I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show today, Elena.